At the time when I was Greek, I hadn't transitioned yet, but I was always very feminine. So I would do drag like when I was in my fraternity and stuff like that. And at first, like when I first joined, a lot of the brothers weren't too crazy about that, but with time they started becoming more like accepting and supportive, and it was just kind of like something that was normal. Like my fraternity brothers nicknamed me Big Mama, so I would like live in the house that we had, and it was cool. So yeah, I would just say that my fraternity in itself allowed me to become the leader that I am and taught me the leadership skills that I do have. Um, by providing me with a very supportive and open environment where I felt safe to grow as a leader and as a fraternity member. And then in general, I would say that the whole community of Greek people were also very supportive. Like sororities were very supportive, and they were just really open to discussing, different genders and different sexualities when we held like Greek Week events and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So I would say that for sure. Awesome. I would say that I wasn't very I didn't come out as transgender during that time. I always would say that I'm just like a girl in a gay boy's body, and like a lot of my fraternity brothers remember that. Because that's how it kind of, most of my life it felt, like growing up, like I always knew I was different, but I just didn't really want to accept that part of me. The Greek community has given me some sort of support system. I would say that, yeah, it has. I graduated 2 years ago from undergraduate, and I'm still really close with a lot of my fraternity brothers and a lot of the friends that I made during while I was in in Greek life. Like I live with one of my fraternity little brothers, and I'm always hanging out with all of my fraternity brothers that live here in Southern California. And I do talk often to a lot of sorority members that I was friends with and still am friends with. But yeah, I feel like once you're in a fraternity, you have this bond, right, between your brothers. And for me, that was a bond because I grew up with like not a lot of men in my life. So for me, that was a bond that was so like and it continues to be very pure and innocent and very like what our third principle is, right? Brotherly love. It kind of embodies all of that. So I think that because I'm so close to a majority of my fraternity brothers, they really understood like what it was for me to transition, and like a lot of them, I don't think they had a really difficult time like understanding the whole concept of transition. So I think that, yeah, they were just very open to it, and I think it's improved a lot of our relationships. I think that the trans community can benefit in so many different ways from being in a Greek organization. College is something that is, it's something that's very common in America. Everyone goes to, or a majority of people go to college, and a majority of those, or a handful of those people within that population are transgender. So I think that the trans community can really benefit because it would kind of, not just like, that's a hard question to answer. I feel like they could benefit from being in a Greek community or a Greek organization because the whole point of being in a fraternity and a sorority is also to kind of, let you become more accustomed to being in college and to help you grow. And I think that trans people should also be a part of that. I would say that there's so much that a Greek system can like bring to you, and I think that as a transgendered woman myself, I know that it's probably very scary if you're out there and you identify as transgender, whether you're a trans man, trans woman, gender non-conformative, anything that falls within that gender identity spectrum, or even with sexualities. But I think that you should be comfortable within yourself, and once you kind of figure out what kind of organization you want to go after, it doesn't necessarily have to be, a social fraternity or a social sorority. It can also be other kind of organizations, such as cultural organizations, or, there's some organizations that cater to just LGBT specific members. You progress in your academics and all of those kind of things. So yeah, I would say join an organization and have the best experience in college. And so that's why I think that you should join a Greek organization or just any organization that can be beneficial to you and that you can help progress. That's why we're brave and fearless, and that's why it's up to us to be the change.